watching you from across the room.
From the top of the Silver City Ballroom in downtown Meriden, it's the Dirty Laundry Show. Joey Clifton.
And your body meatball.
Yeah, the meatball.
Hello.
Your name is actually Meatballs Parm. If
Yeah.
you find you on Facebook, it's Meatballs, plural,
Yeah.
Parm.
Don't look me up. I won't accept your friend request.
This week's sponsor is Neil's Donuts, 83 North Turnpike Road in Wallingford. Let me tell you, did I find a gem in Neil's Donuts?
What kind of gem did you find in a donut?
Because I went down, I had, my father had surgery in Jersey, and I had to go down there. And he always, every time he comes up, he always brings me bagels.
Right.
And he always bitches because he goes to Dunkin' Donuts, and they never have enough donuts, like all the different flavors. They're sold out. They're crappy.
Do they have Dunkin' Donuts in Jersey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but our Dunkin' Donuts in Jersey are all combination Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins.
That's the best combination.
So you get the both. But anyway, I found, on social media, I saw people talking about Neil's Donuts. So I checked them out. And holy Christ, they were like, the box, first of all, I got a dozen donuts for $10. You can't beat that price.
Right.
Less than $1 a donut. And the box weighed like 20 pounds. I swear to God. They were the thickest, heaviest, fullest donuts I've ever had in my life.
Should you say you bit into one and found the gem inside?
No, we had to, like, they actually cut them in half. Like, you know how usually when you get a donut filled with something, whether it's jelly or Boston cream,
Right.
you can never find the hole that they actually filled it in.
Okay.
This is like sliced in half because they're so big. They actually slice the donut in half, fill it, and then put the top back on it again.
That's some crazy engineering of a donut.
Oh, it's crazy. And you know what? I went on, let me think now. I went on Wednesday around 2 in the afternoon, and they had a decent selection of donuts.
I think they run out on a weekend.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I mean, usually donut places, they're there at like 5 or 6 in the morning, like baking time to bake the donuts.
So where's Neil's Donuts?
All right, South Turnpike in Wallingford, in the Yalesville section, across from, what was that? Was it a gym? The 2000? It had 2000 on it. What was that?
Before it was a club called Choices. I don't know what happened after.
Well, it's kind of across the street from that, and it's in like a little 2-store plaza with a pizza parlor next to it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I think people know where it is because it's a pretty popular place.
Oh, man. I mean, in Jersey, we had a place called Obco's Donuts, and they've been in business for like 40 years. And this place, they open at like 5 in the morning.
That sounds like a hardware store.
Obco's? When they sell out, they sell out. So, but the other thing is, which next time I go to Neil's, I'm going to try, they have like 10 different flavored cannolis. They have like Oreo cannolis, chocolate cannolis. I mean, whatever kind of cannolis you could think of, they have like 10 different versions of it.
So you went to Neil's Donuts and thought you were in heaven?
Yeah, it was pretty good. And you know what? I feel bad because I didn't even finish the donuts because there were too many and I kept them too many days. And I mean, I had one yesterday after like 5 days.
I know somebody that will eat them.
Yeah. Yeah, your dog. Your dog will eat it. Neil's Donuts, 83 North Turnpike Road in Wallingford. Just Google them and you'll find it. And you will not be disappointed because I don't think anybody makes like fresh donuts anymore.
I think Meriden's capable of being disappointed with anything.
Well, if you lower your standards, you'll be happy.
No, not here.
All right. So our last episode was with Castro, and it was the night before Thanksgiving, and it's a little bit over a week. And man, we missed a lot in just over a week.
You think so? What was the feedback from the Castro episode?
You know what? It wasn't negative, and the funny thing. Well, first I should say, Mom, if you're listening, stop listening right now because we're gonna get a little vulgar. Okay. So don't listen. Turn it off.
Hi,
Thanks,
Mom. Bye, Mom.
Okay. Anyway, with Castro, it was really funny because, you know, a couple weeks ago when before his court case got finished and everything, everybody was like, oh, he's a piece of shit and he should resign and everything else. Now they're all saying that he should have been named chairperson of the finance committee. It's like, what the hell? Like 2 weeks ago, you were frying him. Oh, he should be resigning. He's crap and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But now, because they picked who as the finance committee?
Tomasetti.
No. They picked Mike Rohde.
Tomasetti is the vice, I think.
Yes.
And Rohde is the...
They didn't want Mike Rohde as the chairman of the finance committee because I guess in his past, he spent a lot of money. I mean, that's what I get from social media. I don't know what the facts are.
He himself cannot spend a lot of money. It has to be a group kind of effort. But it's surprisingly, it's the same people that were talking smack about Castro are the ones saying he should have been appointed. So
yeah, but have you noticed ever since the court case got finalized and we had him on the podcast, nobody's talking crap about Castro.
Right, but did you also notice after the elections, Bert Smith disappeared?
Bert Smith did disappear.
And Jason disappeared from our comments too?
No, I see Jason all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and you know what? Well, we're going to get into that because, you know, one thing that I like about Jason, and, you know, to be... not to be. Well, not to be politically correct, but I'm not going to give last names because, you know, everybody knows who I'm talking about. But we don't need to give last names because it's just going to give them a reason to bitch at me later.
All right.
So, Jason, you know what? I don't agree with a lot of Jason's political views, but I love Jason on social media because you can have a debate with him. You can have an intellectual debate back and forth with him. There's no name calling.
Right.
There's no... You can tell when he's joking. You can tell when he's not joking. And like I said, I don't agree with his political beliefs whatsoever, but I love him. Because he's great. He brings up really good points. Yeah. We should have him on. I know he was talking about doing his own podcast, but we should have him on and just get some of his feelings. But where this episode is kind of going is really bullying. That's where I want to take it.
Bullying, depression, and suicide?
Well, no, I don't want to take it that far. But you know what? Unfortunately, bullying does go that far. But all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we missed the first snowfall of the season.
Right.
What do we get? About 4 inches, 5 inches, maybe?
That's what she said.
Yeah. And you know what? An inch makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it?
Right.
But we're supposed to get a little bit more this Wednesday. We had the swearing in of our new officials was on the 2nd, but because of the snowstorm, they canceled the official inauguration ceremonies at Platt High School, but they're moved to December 16th, which is this coming Monday.
What does snow have to do with the official? Were they taking a school bus?
Well, no. If school was canceled, so the school was closed, so there was no school employees there to keep it open for the inauguration. So,
the janitor wasn't there with the keys?
Yes, the janitor wasn't there. Nobody had the keys to the... So anyway, so that's going to be on the 16th, which is this coming Monday. I believe it's at 5 p.m. at Platt.
Unless it snows again.
Yeah, unless it snows. Well, it's supposed to snow on Wednesday. We lost a couple of really good people in Meriden. We lost Geetha Cottrell, who was just running for Area 1 for City Council. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize she had a stroke a couple days before the debate, which nobody knew.
Oh, yeah?
And, you know, if you saw her in the debates, Geetha, I mean, you would never know. She was a retired police officer from Hamden.
Yes.
And, you know, she was Republican. I'm definitely not Republican, but I really liked a lot of the things that she said. I would have liked to have met her. We never actually physically got to meet her.
Unfortunately.
Or got to talk to her. But she had a stroke about a week before the debate. She pulled through. She had the debate. I think she came out across great during the debate. Unfortunately, she didn't win.
Right.
And she just passed away a couple of days ago. And you know what? We know friends of the family, and they said, you know, the kids were happy that she didn't win because they felt she really needed time to rest after the stroke. And they were afraid if she actually won and got on the council that she really have that time.
A lot of stress.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she passed away a couple of days ago. So our hearts go out to the family. Also, we lost Walter Shamek. I'm not sure if I'm actually saying his name right.
Probably.
Is it Shamek or Shamuck? But either way, Walter's been on the city council for We the People at large for, what, like 30 years? Something like that. And it's really strange because it was literally right after the swearing in. And he didn't run again this year. So I don't know whether he knew something maybe was up with his health. I'm not really sure. I mean, he was up there in age, what, 80-something? 83, something like that.
I can't tell you. I don't know.
But you know what? Nobody has ever said a bad word about Walter, so I really haven't heard anything bad about him. Why are you laughing?
I'm not.
You heard bad things? Well, I mean, he
That's
sided.
a politician, so there's always going to be a good word and a bad word.
Right, but as a person, nobody's ever said anything bad about
And a lot of people knew him around town.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're on the city council for over 30 years.
I think he also worked as a postal carrier, too.
Really? Mm-hmm. So our hearts go out to the family. And, it's just like everybody's...
Right.
I don't know whether it's Christmas time and it's dead of winter.
And you get a TV lady, too, from WFSB.
Yeah, I know. And it usually happens in threes. So maybe that's the third, and maybe maybe we won't have any more.
We got to do a shout out to Mike Simmons. That was in our racism episode.
Mike Simmons had a stroke too.
Right.
What's going on? Mike was our friend that did the racism episode like two weeks ago.
Right.
And he had a stroke, but he pulled through it, and he's fine, and he's back to normal, and he's out of the hospital. So we wish him the best of luck. God. What other bad news do you have?
It's the season. It's the changing of the weather.
It's the season.
It is the season.
It's the horrible season.
It is. It's getting colder.
It really is, though. I mean, everybody gets so mad and upset, and then with all the shopping and all that crap, and
right.
It's definitely not the time to be friendly. A couple events. Well, a big event coming up this Friday is Holiday in the Park, Party in the Park.
Oh yeah,
at Hubbard Park.
Mm-hmm. What time is it?
Well, there's a couple of different times. One post has 4:30 to 7. Another post has 5 to 7:30. So I think if you go at 4:45 on Friday, you'll be good.
Right.
And you'll know when it ends. But it's Party in the Park. They're going to have free hot chocolate and free games for the kids. And it's going to be really fun. They have the Festival of Silver City Lights going on. So
who's organizing it?
That's Kathy Matula from Parks and Rec.
Parks and Recs.
Yeah.
No other people involved.
No, and you know what? I gotta give Kathy a shout out. Now I saw her, and she was very happy that we gave her a shout out last time. But
great.
Seeing all the things that she's been doing with the Parks and Recs department,
right?
I mean, people don't realize that. Well, obviously the Parks and Rec puts up all the Christmas lights at Hubbard Park. And then on top of that, they had Yule Fest, and they did all of the white lights around all the posts that everybody thinks looks like candy canes, which I don't think look like candy canes, but they're really cool. They really brighten up everything. And
Squint
actually,
your eyes, they look like candy canes.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you don't see the wreaths anymore because the lights around the poles are so bright.
Right, and I think they put more on Main Street.
Yeah, well, people were complaining, hey, how come you didn't go past the police station on Main Street? And all of a sudden, we drove down the street the other night, and they're all the way down to where the Dunkin' Donuts used to be.
Right.
So, and I think they're going to have a little push to try and keep them up all year because they really do make it really bright downtown, and it looks really nice. I don't know how it'll look in the summertime, but
yeah.
But Kathy and the Parks and Recs, they're the ones that hung all of that stuff. They do all the wreaths. They did those little meteor shower lights at the police station and at the Pocket Park over by the train station. And you know what? Good job, Kathy.
Right.
Shout out to you because I know the bullshit that you deal with, and we won't go into it too much. But,
why not?
But she, you want to go into it?
We could.
Yule Fest.
What about it?
Well, first of all, we had Christmas in the Village.
Right.
Right. I didn't get a chance to go. Did you go? I really wanted to go this year.
We're not allowed. We're not from the Village.
We're not from the Village. No, but I saw the pictures. It looked like it was a great turnout. They had the horse-drawn sleigh, and it just looked really fun. And I really wanted to go, but we had an event at the ballroom, and I couldn't make it.
Next year. There's always next year and the year after that.
Yeah. And then Yule Fest. What is there to say about Yule Fest?
Yule Fest was a dud.
It was okay. I think there were more people last year.
Way more.
But what does that say now when you're organizing an event that last year they put it together in 2 months and we had a bigger turnout than this year? They took like a whole year to organize it and it was a less turnout. Now, it could have been, and I'm not saying this in a negative way towards the organizers or all the volunteers that helped at all. I think it was a combination of Black Friday was a week later this year, Thanksgiving.
Sure.
It was colder.
Sure. Excuses rolling in. Yep.
No, really. I mean, it was a week later. We have a short Christmas season this year, which is good for me. I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
But you know what? Well, all right. Let's get back to what we were saying: bullying, and Yule Fest. We could start with that because there's people in this town that have ulterior motives and they have agendas. Okay.
Right.
And they try and come across like they have one agenda when they really have another. So one thing that really pisses me off is we do it for the children.
Think of the children.
Think of the children. Just to see the children's smiles on their faces makes me happy and warm inside. I think I peed a little bit in my pants.
Oh,
you know, it's not. But how do you take that seriously from somebody that, number one, has no children, or number two, may have children and have nothing to do with them? I mean, there's people that are doing things downtown that have kids that they're not involved with because their exes won't let them be involved or whatever. They pay child support or whatever. Why are you smiling at me? Oh. Okay, so when a certain person does something downtown and says they're doing it for the kids, and we know that they have kids that they don't even support, how do you take that serious? And that has nothing to do with Yule Fest. This is something totally different. I got off track there.
Let's go back in Yule Fest.
All right.
But I think that's this related thing. It's the Yule Fest. There are more organizers and volunteers in the crowd than the crowd itself. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Another thing, it just doesn't have the soul.
No.
Because everyone's doing their own thing. They have their own priorities. They have their own agendas, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it kind of falls apart when the rubber meets the road. So if you go to Yule Fest, there was nothing really. There was some crafts in 24 Colony.
Yeah.
Any event in Meriden organized here on Colony has crafts,
Yeah.
and it's always the same people.
Yeah. But it's when you make, it's the people that are organizing it. And first of all, I have to give a huge shout out to the Making Meriden Business Center and Medco, because Medco financed most of that. They got a lot of sponsors from Ion Bank and a whole bunch of other people that contributed. Who's the one that did all the flowers? The Casertano family. I mean, there was a lot of people. Bruce from the church. We had a lot of people involved in Yule Fest that donated their time and everything else. But the money, the big money that came into doing that, number one was Parks and Rec donated a lot of. They brought the stage and they set up all the lights and stuff. But Making Meriden and Medco are the ones that they bought that sign, the Happy Holiday sign that we put up on the Silver City Ballroom. That's their sign. They spent thousands of dollars on that sign. And I think it looks amazing because you could actually see it from City Hall. You could actually see it coming down from the Stop and Shop. Across from the Armory, you could see it coming down Main Street.
Right.
So I think that was great of them to buy stuff like that and all the bands and everything else. And I don't think they got a good enough shout out from the people that appeared to be the organizers.
How come the people that appear to be organized were so...
All right, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to put everybody on blast. I think...
Dirty laundry.
Yeah, dirty laundry. We're going to put you on blast now, and you people deserve it. First, we've got Carrie. Carrie.
Yeah. Why weren't people so adamant about stating that no taxpayer money went towards Yule Fest when everyone knows money went... taxpayer money went for it?
Well, because, okay, you've got Parks and Rec hanging... You know, they brought the stage down.
Right.
Okay. Nobody had to pay for that.
Right.
Okay. But those workers got paid overtime.
And you had the rubbish truck parked up front.
You had the rubbish. Who says rubbish?
I say rubbish.
Really? I say
That's
garbage
how we say
truck.
it in Skokie.
I say garbage truck.
The rubbish guys that did the excellent job cleaning up church.
No, everybody. But you know what? I don't think that citizens in Meriden would have an issue with taxpayer dollars being put towards an event like this if you're up front with them and say, hey, look, X amount of dollars from taxpayers from the city is going towards this event.
Nobody would have even questioned it.
Nobody, you know what? I really believe people would be for that.
Right.
Because it's a positive image. It's a positive event. And hey, that's what Meriden needs right now. The problem is when you have organizers that or people that are involved that say one thing that is not true.
Right. And which is easy to find out it's not true.
Whatever the deal is with Carrie, let me tell you, all she wants is a pat on the back. There's this thing in Meriden where there's a number of people. Dave is another one. Dave G. We're not going to give last names because, hey, you know what? We'll get a paper from a lawyer or something. But I mean, it's all over Facebook anyway.
Right.
So we're not saying nothing new. We're just putting it out there on blast.
Dirty laundry.
Right. They need They need acceptance from the community. They need the pat on the back. They need to be the heroes. And I don't know where you get that from.
But the pat on the back comes, if you do a good job, people automatically will give you a pat on the back.
Course.
You don't need to shout out yourself to
Right.
get a pat on the back and post gajillion pictures of the Yule Fest or whatever.
Well,
fest
no,
or whatever
they've got, I know for a fact there's fake profiles.
Right.
From Carrie.
We talked about that.
Right. We talked about that in the past where she congratulates herself through her fake profile to make it seem better. I've seen other posts that are obviously not genuinely real.
Right.
Oh, me and my family came to Yule Fest. We had such a great time. Carrie and Dave, you guys did actually, it's just Carrie usually. You guys did such a great job. I'm thankful for all you do for this city. And it's like, I just want to throw up because I know it's bullshit.
It's positively.
It's not real. It's not real. You know what? I lit up the outside of the ballroom.
Right.
And I was extremely proud of that because my dream is to light up this city. The city needs an identity.
It's not your dream anymore.
Well, and I think like you go downtown Philly, you see everything's lit up in LED, everything's coordinated with each other, and I really want to do that in downtown Meriden. You know what they did?
What?
Like a week after I lit up. No, well, first of all, I lit up the building. Mm-hmm. I put the posts out there, hoping that people would like them.
Right.
I don't need you don't have to come and tell me, oh, you did a great job, because you know what?
We know we did a great job.
I know I did a great job. And I did it because I want to do it. You know what? And if you guys appreciate it, that's awesome. But I appreciate it. I did it for myself. I really did. I don't give a shit whether anybody else wants to come up and say, you know what, it looks great or it looks like crap. I did it for myself because I know I did a damn good job. It came out exactly the way I envisioned it, and I'm happy about it, and I hope everybody else can enjoy it. You don't have to come to me and pat me on my back.
Right.
Okay? And it seems like with these other people, that's all they want, and they keep using the kids as an excuse. First of all, you ain't got no kids, okay?
Right.
You're living on state assistance. Did I say that? Yeah, I'm on a roll. I mean, you use the handicap sign in whatever vehicle you're in, and that lets you park wherever the hell you want to park in the city. Meanwhile, you're running around through Yule Fest. You ain't got no problem walking. What's your handicap? It's mental, and I know it's mental, and I don't think that gives you the right to park wherever you want. What?
Oh, nothing.
You're being awfully quiet.
Well, I have nothing to add to that conversation.
I know what's going to happen. What this is leading up to, okay?
Yeah.
Is somebody posted on Facebook about Christmas in the Village. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jennifer, I won't even use the last name, but if you're on Meriden Talks on Facebook, you'll see. She wrote, I was a vendor at Christmas in the Village today. Yet again, Sue, who's a friend of the show, decided to say something about me. The time it was in regards to my sister-in-law. It goes on and on about, I don't know, her and her sister were vendors.
Sure.
And basically, somebody wanted to know, who do I contact if I want to return something or whatever? And Sue said, oh, you got to return it to her. You got to talk to both of them, but I wouldn't talk to them because such and such. And Sue went on. Okay? Anybody who knows Sue is Sue. She does her own thing. People love her. People hate her. People can't stand her.
Right.
I personally love Sue because you know what?
Me too. Me too.
I've never pissed her off. She's never been mean to me. Now, I've seen how she could be with other people. But you know what? Sue has the balls that if she doesn't like you because you did her wrong, she won't not like you if you didn't do anything wrong to her. I've never done anything wrong to her.
Right.
So she has no reason to not like me. So if she doesn't like you, you did something to fuck that up big time. And once you get on her naughty list, let me tell you, you're on her naughty list. But what I like about Sue, and a lot of people don't, is Sue will walk right up to you. And if she don't like you, she's going to let you know. She's not going to be two-faced, and she's not going to pretend that everything is peachy because we're in front of each other. But then we get on Facebook and we argue back and forth like we're at war.
Right.
So I give Sue a lot of props because, I mean, and I met, when I met Linda at the debate, a lot of people like Linda. A lot of people don't like Linda. I know Sue and Linda have like a war going back and forth. I have no problem with Linda. She was very nice to me. She's never done anything to me. I've never done anything to her. And I like her as a person.
Great.
Until that until that goes in a different direction, which it has no reason to.
Right.
Okay? Sue and Linda don't get along. Sue walked right up and, had no problem. And you're the same way, Meatball.
Thank you.
Because, Linda met me at the debates. I said hello to her. It was very nice to meet you. And what did you do? You gave her the finger.
Yeah. It's a well-deserved finger.
Okay, but you and her have your issues.
I don't have any issues. Well, apparently she has issues.
Okay, but you both know what caused your issues. Why
wouldn't we? We're two adults.
Right. You both know.
Yeah.
You have the balls to not pretend and not be two-faced.
I'm not going to shake anyone's hand that talks shit.
Right.
And then tries to shake my hand. That's not how I work.
Okay.
You're either my friend or you're not.
Well, where this is leading up to is Daryl, our buddy Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl. He owns a pizza parlor. I don't know whether he actually owns it, but he was a guest on our show.
Yeah.
And, I was really impressed with the way Daryl really cared about Meriden, and he collects all of the artifacts and all the different he does his homework on the history,
right?
Okay, but ever since he met Carrie, he's gone in a totally different direction, and it comes down to bullying, which is the point of this episode. And he's been bullying Sue like a 16-year-old school kid. I mean, it's really embarrassing.
That's embarrassing for him, and maybe the forum he posts on, because that forum is big into not allowing personal attacks, which obviously doesn't apply to friends of the administrators or moderators.
Well, he doesn't do it on that page. That's the difference.
That's his own page you're talking about. Well, MT, why isn't it MT?
Well,
Sean's always saying, hey, no personal attacks,
right,
and he'll use that to delete posts that are not convenient for him.
And that's another thing. We're gonna have Chris on here in the near future. We have to wait for the lawsuit to be
wrapped up,
and we're going to have Chris on here, who's one of the moderators at Meriden Talks, and find out what the dynamics is between him and Sean. Well, I want to know the dynamics between him and Sean, because it's really crazy. It's really strange.
No, it's a regular dynamic.
I don't think it's regular.
Well, we can talk about it if you want.
No, we'll save it for Chris. We'll wait for Chris. But I want to get back to the bullying. So that woman, Jennifer, had posted about Sue and Sue's interaction
and
with somebody.
Everyone piled on it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Typical MT and typical Meriden.
But when you're a kid, you look at adults, right? Mm-hmm. And you think, we were always taught to not talk to the adults, stay in the separate. We had the kids' table. We never got interrupted into the adult talk and stuff. You always looked up to adults. And now you look at social media and you realize the adults are 10 times worse than the kids.
They are.
I mean, I can't imagine this shit happening in high school.
That's one of the things I pointed out before to you in discussion. There's no high school kids. There's no, everyone says kids are bad, blah, blah, blah. They're not on an MT arguing. They're not on Facebook arguing or talking smack. It's all adults.
Yeah.
And most of them are senior adults already retired, and I guess they have a lot of time to talk shit.
I'm sure that's what it is, because, but then you got Daryl. All right, shouldn't you be at the pizza parlor from 9 to 5 or whatever? But what really bothered me is, let me read you something that he wrote.
Sure.
So Daryl wrote about, now that woman really had no right talking about Sue on Meriden Talk. She wanted to put her on blast. Hey,
should have went to Sue and discussed it amongst each other.
Not even
adults.
Nobody really gives a shit. I mean, does anybody give a shit? She put it on social media because she knows that there's a group of people that don't like Sue, and that they would come on and attack Sue and make her look good.
Children.
And again, it's that whole pat on the back thing that everybody needs for some reason. So Daryl, for whatever reason, decided to write, I've only spotted Sue at community events. I assume she spends most of her time in the swampy side of Black Pond. She has a Facebook group called Meriden Community Forum, and she likes posting events happening in and outside of Meriden. on days there's events happening in Meriden, but she doesn't like the people who organize some local events in Meriden, so she never posts about those. Well, you know what?
Okay.
We don't like the people that are hosting most of the events in Meriden either.
Right.
And I got a number of reasons why we don't like the people that are hosting some of these events. Do I think the events are good for Meriden? They could be, if they're run correctly. They're not run correctly. And making Meriden and Medco and everybody else is trying to help and do the best they can. But these people are freaking insane. They have mental problems.
Yeah.
Carrie goes on and thanks a whole bunch of people and leaves out Dave. Dave goes on and thanks a bunch of people and leaves out Carrie. It's like this whole high school bullshit. Look, if you're doing it for the good of the city, shut the fuck up. Okay, and do it for the good of the city.
They're not. That's why people got to post. Every time they do something nice, they got to post pictures and all that stuff.
Get a job, get a life, and stop doing this shit because it's really friggin' annoying.
Is it?
It's super. And then Daryl...
That's what makes Meriden go around, though.
But then Daryl just jumps on board. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? You run a business. People know you. People like you. You're the administrator on a site that's called Positively Meriden, where you'll only allow positive comments. But then you go on Meriden Talks, and your two-faced ass starts bullying people. And that's not right. I mean, there's plenty we could talk about you, Daryl, and I know you don't care whether people know it or not. Everybody knows all the bullshit about you. But the two-facedness, like, is that even a word? Two-facedness?
Oh, you just invented a new one.
Two-facedness. I don't know. Then he writes, honestly, actually, it's really sad, and it's disappointment that Sue has pissed me off so bad with her bullshit that I have to act like a fucking asshole to her. I just don't care anymore. Well, you know what, Daryl? We don't care about you anymore either, because you know what he did?
What's up?
He then went on, continuing the bullying, and he posted pictures of Sue.
That's the creepy part about Daryl. He goes to all these events with the camera.
Yep.
Stands in the corner and takes pictures of
people. I wouldn't be surprised if he has cameras in his bathroom at the restaurant.
Be careful what you say. You're going to be subpoenaed.
Well, he had that camera in the storage room that was a hidden camera. So I don't know. He's just a freaking creep. And you know what? I know the shit that you've done behind my back, Daryl. So don't come to me and be smiley and shake my hand and ask if you could serve pizza in my banquet hall and all of this stuff. Because this you want to really get into it?
Sure.
This asshole, and I'll call that to your face if you want. He went to my landlord to ask if he could put a restaurant in my building.
Let's be honest, he can't put shit anywhere.
Well, no, because he doesn't have a dime. He doesn't have a pot to piss in. But he wants, and that's the problem. Carrie does the same thing. How much money did Carrie invest in Yulefest?
How much money is she getting out of the Yulefest?
How much does she get from the food trucks?
Right.
From all the concerts on the green.
That's why only two or three food trucks showed up?
Well, there's another thing. The Twilight Concert Series.
If you're going to keep on extorting food trucks, they're going to stop showing up.
No, but they're going to keep saying that they're an official 501c3. They are not. Go to the Secretary of State's website. Search in 501c3s. Search for Restore with the Arts or
search
whatever
by
the
the
hell
last
it is.
name.
There is no 501c3, which is why they have to keep going through the Y to collect checks.
Right.
I think we talked about it one time where they had one of their pop-up markets on the green, right? Mm-hmm. And they were charging food trucks. She charged the Mr. Taco food truck.
That was always there.
$100 and something.
Right.
To be where they're already allowed to be 365 days a year.
Right.
The Mr. Taco truck, they paid their permit to the Board of Health of Meriden to be on State Street 365 days a year. She came over and charged them to be... That's like somebody charging you to park in your driveway if they do a street fair on your street.
Right, but eventually it all works out. So they do whatever they do when they do the Yulefest or other events.
Right.
At the end, it's going to work out like it worked out with the food trucks. Food trucks are not showing up anymore because they know they're going to be extorted.
Right. Well, not only that, she tells them 4,000 people are going to show up.
Right.
They buy 4,000 people worth of meat and food to be prepared. And when 20 people show up, you know what? They're not coming to the next event. And that's why you only had 2 food trucks at Yulefest, because they don't want to work with Carrie and Dave. And I don't know. You know what? It's not fair of me to say Dave because it really is Carrie. but Dave is kind of looped in with that whole group there.
Right.
And people feel that if they want to do an event in the city that they have to go through them. No, you have to go through Parks and Rec if you want to do an event. If you want to do an event anywhere in the city would love for you to do an event in Meriden. You go to the Making Meriden Business Center, talk to David Cooley, talk to Lisa from Main Street USA, and they will point you to Kathy over at Parks and Rec, and they will point you to the Board of Health and the Fire Marshal. They did a really nice guideline for people that want to do events. You want to do a concert series on the green? Please bring in some new music, because lately it's every year it's the same. You know what? People come out, they enjoy the Joby Rogers.
You don't like Coconuts?
They enjoy the Santana. The Santana tribute was amazing. You know what? If they weren't doing it, would somebody else step up? That's the question.
You know who they should bring?
Who?
Rails and Cashews.
Rails and Cashews. That's a good band. Well, I know Robbie DeRosa. Robbie would bring in some. We got to get him on the show again too soon. He would bring in some unbelievable acts.
I believe he tried, but there was some kind of contention between who gets the green kind of thing.
Right. Well, and it's this territorial, the green is mine. Carrie and Dave think the green is theirs. You realize that, right? They think that if it's an event on the green,
I think the castle's mine.
It has to go through them. You own the castle?
Yeah.
You own Castle Craig?
Uh-huh.
All right, so back to Daryl. So he posted a picture of Sue. I'm going to block you, then talk shit about you. Okay, whatever. Then he went even lower, and he posted a picture of her eyes up close with her eyebrows.
That's childish
and
stuff.
talked
We
about,
shouldn't be even wasting time discussing it.
Just, it's bullying.
It is bullying.
It's outright bullying. Dude, you own a business. You run a forum.
Right.
People know you. How two-faced can you be to be positive on one side and then talk shit on the other? And I just think it's really bad business on his part.
It's up to him. If he wants to do it and he wants to play it like that, let him play it like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not going to listen to our podcast and be like, hey, I did wrong. I apologize. He's going to do whatever he needs to do.
I know exactly what's going to happen now, because I put Daryl on blast and I put Carrie on blast. You're going to see I'm going to get calls from the Board of Health. I'm going to get calls from the Fire Marshal. They will go out of their way to fuck me over. And you know what?
It works
Go ahead.
both ways.
Throw your best shot, because I've done nothing but be nice to you. I've been cordial. I've always been friendly. And you go behind my back and talk to my landlord and try and get me kicked out after me being nice to you? You know what? When I see you on the street, I will not be smiley. I will not shake your hand. And I will not be friendly, because I'm not two-faced, and neither is Sue. So you could say what you want about Sue. I know a lot of people don't like her for whatever reason, but she is not two-faced, and she'll tell you like it is to your face.
Right.
Another person, you know, and the whole bullying thing kind of came up today, because it was a heartfelt
Is that post still up?
Oh, yeah. You can find all of that stuff with Daryl and Sue and all the pictures. Yeah, it's all on Meriden Talks, which Sean should have taken down, because he's the one that always says.
He knows better than that.
Well, and again, Sean's another one. I know a lot of people have a lot of shit to say about him. I only met him one time. He was nice to me, never done anything to me. So I'm not going to ever say anything bad about him until they do it.
Right.
He might have done shit to you, but it doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect me either. It's just Facebook, whatever.
Right. This guy Mike, he wrote a post today that really kind of got to your heart. He said, "Frustrated father here. Any advice on dealing with a school's administration that does not punish bullying, just ignores it? At the end of my rope, and I don't know what to. I don't want to cause a scene. I'll take any advice before I start going into protection mode. Thank you. And yes, the same bullies that I grew up with now run the fucking place." And that got me to thinking, because you read a lot of the comments on bullying on that particular post, and people are like, call the police, talk to the Board of Ed, call DCF. You could call DCF on the school and blah, 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 blah. But it just got me thinking that the same way he just said, the same kids that bullied him when he was young are the ones running the school.
Yeah.
Look at Facebook. Look at the groups.
I'm going to post a cool video under this podcast.
On Dirty Laundry's page?
Yes.
Okay. Of? Of what?
I'm not going to spoil it, but it's related to this. But anyways, I talked about this to my friend, and he's a child psychologist, and we were talking about it, and we came to the conclusion that the state of Connecticut is very proactive in bullying.
Right.
So the school district might want to suppress the number of accidents that are happening because it reflects badly on the district.
But that's always the case with anything, isn't it? They always try and not.
Yes.
The last resort is reporting it to any official organization.
Right.
Because they don't want it to.
Because then the state comes down on you.
Yeah, but then if you teach your kid how to beat the shit out of somebody,
but you also got to
then you get in trouble that way too.
How schools handle it.
Yeah.
There's zero tolerance policy.
Yeah.
So even if I bully you,
right,
you're going to get punished.
I'm going to get punished also, even
right,
because I'm the one that's being bullied. Right.
And that resolves nothing.
No. All it does is give two kids some time at home.
And then you're angry, and
right,
then you start
right,
acting out.
But how you wonder why the bullying is happening in schools? Look at the parents. The parents are the bullies.
Right.
I mean, you look at the shit that's going on MT, and it's like, all right, most of us are members of MT because we enjoy that shit. I mean, we like the drama. We like reading.
Well, there's 11,000 users.
Yeah, but it's the shock. You know what? When Daryl
right,
goes on there and posts a picture of Sue's eyebrows, you're like, holy fuck. Like, I can't believe he did that.
But you have a bunch of adults giggling at it.
And that's why we're all members of that group, because we want to see the next shocking thing that goes on. But
I'm not a member of that group.
Yes, you are. But you cross the line at some point. You know, be a man, be an adult. You know, what do you got to be a bully for?
But if you were a man and adult, MT wouldn't have any posts, but just regular posts like advertising the village next to that.
But I saw like the guy who started the whole ice bucket challenge just passed away, right? I mean, here's a guy who had Lou Gehrig's disease. You look at the problems that this guy had and what he had to overcome. Meanwhile, I mean, he had real problems. He had reasons to hate the world if he wanted to, and he didn't.
So that's married.
But then you got people like Daryl and Carrie. They got things going for them, and they got to treat people like shit, and they got to be two-faced, and they got to bully people.
But we all live in the same town. It's Meriden. We're all alike. So me pointing at you and making fun of you, saying you're poor or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm your neighbor.
Yeah.
We're the same thing.
Yeah, but then why do it? I don't understand it. And
they're bored.
But it goes back to what I originally said about Jason. Jason, he could come across to some people as a bully, maybe. But if you look at...
You see the emails he was sending to the council?
No. But if you look at the posts, you can have an educated debate with him.
But that's rare. He's not representative of Meriden.
Yeah, but you look at you as Kara. Everybody knows you're Kara.
Right.
You know, Kara could be looked at as well, we're speaking hypothetically. Kara doesn't exist, but you could say the post that
for
you
a lot
post,
of dudes, she does.
You could say that Kara was a bully, but if you look at the things that you posted under Kara,
whatever,
but you were posting facts about things.
Right.
Look, the way I look at it, if you're running for office, if you're in politics, if you're on the city council, if you're in charge of Parks and Rec, the way I look at it, everything is game. You know,
right?
They do it in the presidential debate. Look at Trump. They went right after his kids. Look at Biden. They went after his son. So this is nothing new. When the whole Villano thing happened and Bert was talking about his personal life. Look, dude, you're running for office. Everything's on the table.
Yeah.
When you're talking about an individual like Sue or Daryl or Carrie or any of these people,
right?
I think
there's a decorum of some sorts.
There's a line. I think. Look,
there should be.
You could put your shit out on Facebook, and everybody always says, "Don't put personal shit out on Facebook." You know, if you put it out there, then you get what you deserve.
Right.
Okay. But when you don't have somebody putting it out there,
right,
and they're getting personally bullied and attacked by assholes that aren't adults and don't know
but
how to grow up.
But that's why we have administration. So I'm not going to get personally attacked on my page because I'm going to delete it. If it happens in a public forum, the administration should control that, at least with some reasonable boundaries.
Just have, you know what? You got a problem with Sue? Have the balls to go up to her and hash it out with her. You never know what'll happen.
We're adults.
You know,
maybe you'll hug it out at the end.
You hide behind your keyboard on your phone and you hide behind your camera at all the events like a freaking creep. You know, have some balls and
be legit about it.
Be an adult. We're all adults in this town. We all want the town to do better. We want more businesses. Everybody wants the damn Dave and Buster's to move in.
Where though?
I have no idea. But everybody wants the same outcome. We want lower taxes. We want people we could trust on the city council. We want more businesses. We want more parking. We want a shopping district. We want more events.
People claim they want that stuff, but what they really want, that's a long-term kind of goal. The short-term goal is to talk shit on the internet to each other.
Yeah. No, I don't.
That's entertainment.
Well, it is.
Well, cable is expensive. People are dropping cable.
Yeah.
So drama.
I have no cable. I have no internet.
Right. So you seek out the drama on the internet.
Yeah. Well, I wake up. I let my dog out. I make a cup of coffee. While the coffee is brewing and the dog's outside, I go take a big, massive dump.
And troll.
And I troll. I don't troll. I read Meriden Talks. But you know what happened was I got to the point where I was getting so angry at the assholes that are on there that I ended up not following it in my regular news feed because I didn't want to start my day with that shit.
That's why I'm not on it.
You know, and believe it or not, I enjoy the Positively Meriden site. I do, because it is all positive. I know I'm not going to get that shit.
MT turn into ads and just stupid, where can I find some wood or whatever.
Well, the community, Sue's page turned into ads.
Is there any good page that you can have a good discussion on?
Meriden Talks. No, I think Meriden Talks, you could have a good discussion with people like, with people like Jason.
He's not a Meriden Talks.
Look, an adult sees... I can't stand that pop-up Kyle. What is it? Pop-up. What's his name?
Mike.
Pop-up
Kyle.
Whatever. Okay, every one of his posts is pro-Trump, pro-Republican, and blah, blah, blah.
I actually don't mind that.
I can't stand it. But I'm not going to say anything negative about him as a person because I never met him. I don't know anything about him. You know what I do? I scroll past.
Right.
It's annoying. I don't like seeing it. But I expect it from him, and I scroll past.
But that's one of those things on MT that you can't have a discussion. So using him as an example, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's good people.
I've never met him, so
if you try to have a discussion, it's not going to happen. He's going to post a meme and run, post another meme.
Right.
And that's a lot of people out there, including Sean and all the other Republicans.
Right.
When you want to hold that discussion, there's no healthy discussion. It's all about Obama, this guns.
No, I think you get great discussion with Jason. I think you get great discussion with Linda. I think can give you a great discussion. Michael Carabetta, now who's congratulations, he's a new councilman.
But I think none of them are active on MT.
Well, no,
they might be members, but not really active. They might discuss something somewhere else, but there's no forum I found that could be healthy discussion.
The taxpayers forum, you could get healthy discussion. And
yeah,
I mean, the majority of them are Republicans. Well, Linda actually isn't a Republican. I think she's a Democrat. But
please.
But well, anyway, you can have a good discussion on the Meriden taxpayer site.
Who's the admin on those?
I'm not sure. Don't care. It's
good.
I enjoy that site. They post a lot of articles about Record Journal, which you got to pay to see or whatever, incognito. But anyway,
people can't figure that out.
No, like I have the Neighborhood Watch site.
Right.
And I'll tell you a funny story about Sue, and Sue's going to hate me for telling this story, but everybody, I think everybody hates her for stuff like this. When I first moved to Meriden and I started looking at social media sites to find out what was going on in my area, I didn't know much about the area. I found the community forum. I joined that. We had a lady, our mailman has a wife who's like, she's a little nuts. She's a little cuckoo.
He retired like 2 years ago.
Did he?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, his wife would go around knocking on people's doors, asking for money. She would stop cars. I don't know. She had a mental issue. No, I didn't know about this. So she came to my house and she said, listen, my daughter's car broke down. Do you have any money for gas?
She did that to me like 2 days before that.
Yeah, right. Because you live right by me, and come to find out, she did the same thing. She said her daughter's car ran out of gas, and she needed some money. Me being a nice guy, I said, look, I can't give you any money, but I got 5 gallons in gas. I'll give you the gas can. You could go put it in your daughter's car. I even offered to drive her to her daughter's car put the gas in. I didn't know this lady, but she's knocking on my door. She seemed nice.
Right.
So she said, no, I'll get it, but you sure you don't have any money? I said, ma'am, I'm giving you 5 gallons in gas. That's like $20 at the time or whatever. So she took it, come to find out, talking with you like a couple days later, that she did the same damn thing to you. Then in doing more research, finding out that she does this to everybody.
Right.
I even walked over by their house and I saw my gas can, because she never brought the gas can back. You know, during the big blackout that we had a couple years back when we had that 7 days of no power.
October.
I paid like $25 for a 5-gallon gas can because they were gouging me at Superior on Meriden Waterbury Turnpike.
Right.
They were price gouging. So I wanted my tank back. You don't have to give it to me full, but just give me the empty, 5-gallon can. So I saw it in the back of her car, and I was like, that even pissed me off even more.
Right.
Long story short, which is already too long, I posted a picture from my cameras of her at my front door, and I posted it on the Meriden Community Forum. And I put a thing there. Watch out for this lady. It's a scam. I don't know who she is, but I know that she's lying. Don't give her any money.
Right.
Sue kicked me out of the forum for that. Now, I didn't know Sue at the time.
Right. That was a while back.
She kicked me out because she was afraid that if you put a picture of somebody on Facebook that, isn't authorized, like that person didn't give me the okay to do it, she thought that maybe the forum might get in trouble or whatever.
Right.
But I was more pissed that she didn't send me a warning saying, hey, listen, I got to take this down. Don't do it again. She just booted me.
Yeah.
And apparently that's how Meriden Talks got started, right? Got a big pickup from all the people that she booted out.
Right. She used to be the main forum.
Yeah. So we laugh about it now because so it forced me to do a Meriden Neighborhood Watch and Info site, which I really just want to be about crimes. I mean, it's been quiet lately. There hasn't been any shootings. There hasn't been major issues.
It's winter. People are bundled up sitting home.
Yeah, the hood is all bundled up and it's cold outside. So it's been awfully quiet. So you know what? If my group sits there and nobody posts anything, that means it's good. Like nothing bad is going on.
Good. That's a good indicator.
But I really, that's the only thing. And Dave's another one. I keep telling him, don't advertise. There's so many nonprofits in Meriden.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something for free. And you know what? It really bothers me when somebody says, oh, hey, I'd like to do an event. I have a nonprofit. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Because, and that's what Dave posts a lot of the nonprofit, and I got to keep deleting them because you have other pages for that. Posted on Meriden Talks, posted on the community forum.
Right.
Neighborhood Watch and Info. That's not...
But I got something interesting to say. So this Taxpayer United forum that you mentioned, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
That's an old referendum forum.
Okay.
That's where a lot of troll accounts were born.
Okay.
And we were talking about how Daryl is an administrator to Positively Meriden.
Right.
He's an admin when he goes into another forums to talk smack.
Right.
All those troll accounts,
Yeah.
they're run by one person.
Who?
I won't tell. But that person's administrator on one of the forums too.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm not going to say who it is. You guys can figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
If you want to know who Bert Smith and all the other ones are.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, they will accuse you of being Bert because you had Kara or whatever. But again, you have the balls to go up to somebody and say it to their face. You're not just hiding behind a keyboard. All right, you might have a fake name or whatever, but everybody knows it's you.
Why does it bug everyone if you have a fake name?
I don't know.
If you're not sucker enough to give up your personal information to Facebook and the government.
But see, that's the reason why I had Dino on there, because if I wanted to, you know what? I had my car broken into like everybody else did, right? I put it on MT,
right?
And you know what I got in response? You're an asshole for leaving your doors open. Why would you leave your doors open? You're a stupid piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's Meriden for you.
You know? And so
everyone's better than you.
But that's why I created Dino to be able to turn around. To be able to turn around and say and give it back, because I, unlike Daryl, don't want things to fall back on my business. My political beliefs have nothing to do with my business. My beef with people should have. My business is separate. This podcast is separate.
But as you said, we cannot run not legit. It's a legit business. Because somebody's gonna out there and shit on it anyways.
No, they're dying for me to fail. If I ever had to find a group of people that can't wait for me to either die or
that's all the people that
get
smile
out of
and
money.
shake your hand.
They're all the people that shake my hand, and they all want to do things here.
Right.
But meanwhile, every Yule Fest, I created the ballroom to be able to be a place where you could have like a marketplace and have all vendors inside. And what do? They go to the free 24 Colony Street building, which I don't blame them for.
But that's how Meriden always was. I went to high schools here. I went to middle school here.
Yeah.
That's how people here are.
Yeah, but do you think it's just here, or do you think it's everywhere?
I don't know, because I can't tell you what's happening everywhere else.
Yeah.
But I know Meriden.
I don't think it's like this in, I don't know, Jamestown, New York, or somewhere in Indiana, or some small town. You know, I mean, I look at my hometown in Jersey, down the Jersey Shore, and same size, 60,000 people, but it's so spread out. You would never run into somebody you know at like the supermarket because it's so spread out.
But you don't want to run into people you know here.
No.
If I think of all my friends, like true friends, my tribe.
Yeah. You have a tribe?
None of them are from Meriden.
You have a tribe?
Yeah.
And but they're not from Meriden.
No. Yeah. None of them are from Meriden. Aside from Keith.
You know what? Be nice to each other. Be cordial to each other. Be friendly to each other.
But that's all. Nothing will ever happen in this city because everyone's undercutting everyone. Everyone's talking shit about every other person.
Yeah.
But if you go to Cheshire or the fancier towns,
yeah,
they're all backing each other up and they're all moving up.
Well, you know what? We're going to be real on this show.
We're vultures.
We're going to call you out on your shit.
Dirty laundry.
Right? We're going to air your dirty laundry. You could be mad at me. You could be pissed at me. You could try and fuck me over.
Or you're going to get some shit.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
I know I'm going to get it. But you know what?
It's a two-way street. Don't worry about it.
I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to your face.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm as real could be.
It's because you're not from Meriden.
Maybe.
I'm serious.
It's my Jersey attitude.
As weird as it sounds, I'm really
It's your
serious.
Spokane, Spokey attitude.
Skokie.
Skokie attitude.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you know what? I would really like to know. I want to.
There's no motivation. You're not going to know the people's motivations to do what things that they do around here.
I don't even know why I want to know. But it's kind of like I need to know.
Closure of some sort.
What is the whole congratulations and pat on the back thing? Like, why do people need acceptance? Why do they need society to say, you know what, you do a great job, you work so hard, thank you so much.
But that's all the posts from Kerry, David, even the officers across the street.
Yeah.
You read their post about some event, and it's nothing about the event. It's them thanking each other, different companies, and you're reading is like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Yule Fest
just do a good job. And
I think Yule Fest could be really good in the future.
You think for the next Yule Fest they should spend 2 years organizing it?
No, I think they need less people, less. What is it? Less chiefs and more tribe. Well, your tribe. No, you just need
My
less.
tribe's different.
You know what? You get one person to book the bands. You get another person to do the finances. You do another person for the food. You do another person for the decor, and you're done. You got 4 people, 5 people.
But the more volunteers you get, the more people show up to the event.
All right. Just a public announcement to the citizens of Meriden. There is nobody in charge of any events in Meriden that you can't do yourself.
If you want to do one, go for it.
We'll
help you out.
Call us. Check us out, dirtylaundryct@gmail.com. Send us an email if you got an idea. I mean, I wanted to do for a long time, I wanted to do an Oktoberfest outside and just close down just in front of the ballroom. And, you know, I went to the people that I thought were in charge of events. I went to Carrie and Dave.
Right.
And I said, hey, guys, I want to do an Oktoberfest out here. Oh, no, we don't want anything to do with that.
It's not even downtown.
No. Why do you want to always do an event downtown? That was Carrie's post on MT. Why always downtown? And Dave was like, yeah, downtown isn't just Colony.
Right.
It's also over by the Green, and it's also over here. They wanted nothing to do with me doing an event in downtown, and I didn't even know them yet. I went to them to say, hey, let's do this Oktoberfest on the
What happened
street.
next?
About a month later, Yule Fest arose.
Right.
You know, so whatever.
And it's not even downtown.
Hey, I brought it up to Dave. I said, Dave, how come a month ago when I brought to you the Oktoberfest idea, you wanted nothing to do with it, but now you want to do Yule Fest? And put his head down and shook his head. Carrie did the same thing. Every time I pass Carrie, she puts her head down and shakes her head and says, hi, Joe, as she walks by. Like, what the fuck?
Can you even talk to her?
No. These people don't support my business whatsoever. They're waiting for me to go out of business so they can jump in my feet.
Succeed.
They don't invest one dime in anything that they do, and they try and ride the coattails of people that are trying to be successful.
Well, and get everything for free.
Yeah.
So you're getting stuff for free. You're doing your damn best not to pay taxes.
Right. I'm a struggling business. Me and my partner built this from ground up. I mean, the building was here, but every sheetrocking, you helped a lot too. We ripped walls down, we painted, we did stuff we didn't even know that we had a possibility to do. We didn't hire one contractor to turn the ballroom into what it is. I'll be in debt for the rest of my life. We're struggling to get this business going and to do the best we can. And I'm not going to have assholes try and undermine me and try and get mad at me for charging them. They get mad at me. Oh, well, you should care about the city and give us the place for free. Hey, bitch, you know what? Heat costs money. Electric costs money.
Right.
I ain't giving you nothing for free.
But that's from day one. And there was a number of different organizations.
Right. I don't need to make a profit, but I can't lose.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm a business. I wouldn't be in business if I didn't want to make a profit.
Right.
I mean, then why do it? Oh, for the children. I forgot. It's always for the children.
For the community.
For the community. All right. What do you think?
Excellent.
Let's end this. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done. Don't forget, Neil's Donuts in North Turnpike Road, Wallingford. Check them out. Check us out on dirtylaundryct@gmail.com. Email your questions. Let us know how much you hate us.
Leave a comment.
Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
That's enough.